Hey everybody, I'm Craftsman Steve and this is the Family Craftsman. Today we're going to talk about this funny looking little contraption. Found him sitting around the shop and I'm kind of curious, what is this? Now, before we go diving into what this thing could be, we should probably know the safety when approaching a new tool that you're not sure about. The number one rule when approaching a new tool, or any tool at all, is that you should have adult supervision. Because some tools, while they can work for you in very fun ways, they can also be very dangerous. So, what's the correct way to approach a tool if there's no adult available and you have to move that tool? Well, first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut off the power to that tool. And that doesn't mean cut off the cord. That means you're going to find out if it's plugged in or not. If it is plugged in, you're going to want to unplug it, because a tool without any power has less chance of harming you. So we're going to put that away. Now that we are unplugged, what's the next thing you should do when approaching a new tool? Tool makers, pretty smart people. So what they did is they put a handle on every tool in your shop. So you're going to want to approach it by grabbing the handle, because you don't know where there could be a blade or some other sharp part or hot part that may harm you. So in this case there are two handles, but you only need one to move it. So pick it up. Kind of an interesting tool, isn't it? Wonder what it does. Well, now if we turn it around and we look at this back side, this underside of the tool, we'll see that it's got flat areas and a little area right there with what looks to be a set of blades. Now what do you think those blades could be used for? Well, I don't think it's to shave your face. I think I know what this is. I think it's what's called an electric hand planer or hand joiner. Now these are very fun little tools, and they're made, well, you know what? Let's just show you. First, we're going to plug it back in. We're going to set it off to the side, keeping our hands and fingers away from any triggers or buttons. So we're going to set this right there where it's safe and out of the way. So we're plugged in. We need to remember that while tools are very useful, they're also very dangerous. So we need to make sure that it stays out of the way, away from any little fingers or any body parts. Okay? So we're plugged in. Now, I'm going to select a piece of wood. We're going to go with this guy. Now this is called ash wood. It's very, very hard. There's different kinds of wood out there. There's oak, pine, ash, mahogany. It goes on and on and on. I chose ash because it is very durable. It's harder than oak. And it looks really cool when you stain it because it soaks up any kind of color that you put on it. So let's put this in the vice grip. We're going to take off the edges because this is what's called a rough cut board. And you'll see all these little grooves here. We're going to get rid of those with our trusty hand planer. Okay? Let's get on that. Okay, so let's set this inside our trusty little bench vise. Just like that. Okay? And the reason we're going to do this is to hold it in place because we don't want this thing to wobble and move on us while we're cutting. Safety is always first. Now we're going to take this nifty little tool and see what the manufacturers did is they put a little trigger and a little safety. So you got to push the safety to compress the trigger. Now this is a safety mechanism to keep you from cutting off anything important, right? So you don't accidentally turn it on and then it just drives away from you. So let's try this out. We're going to try and smooth out all this. See all this? Look at all those splinters and nasty little things that we don't want on this wood. So we're going to use this to nip a couple millimeters off. It is adjustable and I have it set at about 2 millimeters. So let's try it out. Wow, look at how that worked. That just cut all that off. It's so smooth now. I mean, that's a pretty useful little tool, isn't it? Because it would have taken me a long time to do that with a hand planer without electricity or with sandpaper. So I think that this is probably one of my new favorite tools. So we're going to do the back side of this, we're going to do a couple more boards, and then I think we're going to call it for the day. But tomorrow, we'll be back out in the shop, and maybe we'll work on a different tool. What do you think? So, let's do the back side, and then I'm going to say goodbye for the day. That looks great. So now this board is done, and it's no longer a rough cut board, but it's a clean cut board. So now I can use this for projects right here in the shop. And we'll work on those projects throughout the week, maybe the next couple weeks, because it's a pretty big project and I want you guys to be involved. So tomorrow I'm going to bring out a little apprentice to help me out in the shop, and hopefully we can learn about some new tools. Alright guys, until next time, stay creative and keep learning. All right.